Hey horror fans, once again it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. Time to talk about last night's season finale of American Horror Story 1984. Yes. Now we had some not really surprises, but I want to break it down. We got a lot of happy endings in this particular one. Some not so happy, but looked like they decided they wanted to have everyone have a happy ending and close it out. Unlike some of the things that we normally see in 80s horror, we always see that we always have this supposedly happy ending, but then something happens and like, oh shit, we didn't expect that to happen. But in this one, no, mostly everyone got a happy ending. But let's go over to see what happened throughout the episode. Now, we're actually in 2019, yes, and we see a mysterious man walking into the abandoned camp Redwood with an Uber. Who is this guy? Now he encounters Montana and Trevor. He's a ghost now. And obviously we learned that this guy is Bobby. It's Mr. Jingle's son. Yeah, he's all grown and he's looking for his father. Now, of course, Montana and Trevor tell him that no one has seen him since he disappeared when he returned to camp back in 1989. Now, we all know that eventually he's at some other side of the camp living an idyllic lifestyle with his mother and his younger brother. That's where he's at right now. But whatever they're at, they're not back at the camp. Now, eventually, Montana and Trevor tell Bobby what happened back in 1989, where we get a flashback where Trevor, first of all, is preventing everyone from coming into the concert. He parks the bus right in front of the entrance of the camp and tells everyone to get out and go on away so that way they don't become ghosts. Now, eventually, Margaret catches up and she kills him. More on that later. But he's outside the campgrounds. If he dies there, he won't become a ghost. All of a sudden, Brooke appears. She brings him back to the camp where he becomes a ghost. And what we have a happy ending from Montana. She eventually tells him, Montana, that she's not like her and that she's no longer mad at her, angry at her. And so we see that Montana and Trevor are now forever ghost in love. Oh. Now, eventually, all the ghosts from camp will have easily killed the would-be serial killer Bruce. Remember him? And they make sure that he dies outside of the camp properly so he can't become a ghost. Now, Ramirez, he's another matter. He's not that easily killed. But they lure him into a cabin where all the ghosts, and I do mean all of them, including, I forgot the woman's name, the chef that was there. They repeatedly stabbed him to death. I mean, repeatedly stabbed him, and then Montana really cuts his throat out in a very graphic scene, and he's dead. But they even do something even better. They keep watching him every time when he resurrects, and they think of some very violent ways to kill him. It's like he's in his own worst version of hell. Every time he wakes up, they kill him, whether they break his knees, they chop his head off or slice his throat or stab him in the head. Every time when he wakes up, he resurrects, bang! They're there to kill him. Now, obviously, when they try to get Bobby out of the camp because they know that Ramirez wants to kill him, so Montana tells Bobby to head over to Red Meadows Asylum to find answers on who his mysterious benefactor is. Earlier in the show, Bobby says that someone sends him money every month, and that's why he's uncomfortable. That's why he is not able to travel because, he's got all this money. And Montana tells him perhaps you need to go over there to find out, maybe you'll find the answers of who your mysterious benefactor is and also get some more answers about his father. Now, before we get to that, meanwhile, the fake Rita, Donna, and Brooke are trying to go after Margaret. Then we have this little nice battle between Brooke and Margaret. But unfortunately, Margaret shoots Brooke dead. Oh, and Donna, she's so disappointed. Donna gets the better of Margaret, though, and then all the ghosts get their revenge on her. And I do mean revenge. They chop her legs off, and they feed them into a wood chopper. They chop her arms off and feed her into the wood chopper, and they have it centered so that way it goes into the other side of the property so these doesn't become a ghost. They finally chop her head off and dump that into the wood chipper as well. It was a very bloody scene. It reminded me of the Stepfather 3 when they threw him into a wood chipper. Now, Bobby does head to the asylum where we see now that Donna is in charge there. Bobby wants to know who's been sending him checks every month, and Donna has an idea about who that person could be. So they head over to Pineville, Oregon, where they discover that Brooke is not only alive, she doesn't even look like a day over 30. I'll talk some more about that later, too. Now, we get another flashback that shows how Brooks survived the gunshot. It was thanks to Ghost Ray. Looks like he still has some feelings for Brooke, because remember, she was a virgin, and he took her virginity. I guess he still lusts after her. Find out that the bullet went through and through. He was able to patch her up and get her outside of the camp before she died. Eventually, she was rescued because she said she doesn't remember anything after Ray took her past the campgrounds, because he can't go past it because he's a ghost. But she was able to survive it, and she eventually said that she's got some work done. She eats very well. That's why she's still like she's 30 years old. We also find out that she was the one that was sending all those packages to Bobby. Apparently, she felt as though that Bobby should live a normal life and shouldn't have to worry about trying to find his father or deal with anything that has to do with Camp Redwood. And that's why she did it not only for himself, but for herself as well. But Bobby, he's determined. He still wants to see his father, so he returns to Redwood, where he encounters the ghost Margaret. Yes, Margaret is a ghost. We'll talk about that one later. And of course, she wants to kill him, but she is stopped by Mr. Jangles himself. Yes, a happy reunion finally for Bobby. He meets his father. It's not that long, though. They have a nice little conversation. And then we get a nice ending shot where Bobby finally leaves the camp, and we see, we see Mr. Jangles and his mother and his which is uncle. They have a nice real shot, and it looks like everyone is happy. I mean, no shocks, no surprises. Everyone is happy. So we have Margaret and Trevor. They have a happy reunion. Brooks happy, Donna's happy, Bobby's happy. Other than Bruce, Margaret, and Ramirez, everyone has a happy ending, and that's how the story ends. Now, of course, it was nice seeing another American Horror Story alumnus appear on the show, and that was Finn Ridrock. He was from Freak Show. Remember Dandy Mott from Freak Show and Hotel? And here he plays Bobby's son, Mr. Jangles' son. Now, I love his interactions with Montana, and we see her react, seeing a smartphone for her first time. I thought that was funny. There was another great interaction where she asked him about aerobics, and he tells her, no, that kind of died away, but it'd be funny the fact that now they don't do aerobics, they all do yogas, and it'd be interesting to see how yoga pants are different from those pants that they wore back in the 80s. But the music is still fine. He said music making a comeback, and some of the 80s style are making a comeback. So that was a nice little interaction I liked between Bobby and Montana. Now, how did Trevor become a ghost? Well, it's no thanks to Margaret, who kills him first by shooting him in the gut, and he shoots him in the balls. Ooh, I felt sorry for him. Now, of course, as I stated earlier, he was outside of the campgrounds, and he has to come back into the camp if he wants to become a ghost. And like I said, thanks to Brooke, she brings him back to the ground so Montana and he can have this nice little love forever. Very interesting. Like I said, everyone's getting a happy ending here. Except for Ramirez. He gets a fate worse than death. Like I said earlier before, all the ghosts in Camp Redwood violently kill the Night Stalker, and then, like I said, they stand guard and wait for him to come back and kill him in very gruesome ways. Now, fortunately, Xavier, and I forgot the name of the chef, they have this little nice moment where they forget to make sure that they kill Ramirez. He resurrects, obviously, and he finds out that Bobby is there, and he tries his best to get him, but they save the day to make sure that he gets no chance of killing Bobby. Now, as I stated before, Margaret doesn't get the happy ending either. Like I said, despite their best efforts, Brooke doesn't get to kill her, but the rest of the ghosts of Redwood, they kill her by throwing her into the wood chipper. Now, unfortunately, she doesn't die because by the time Montana does chop her head off, she was actually still inside of the camp. Now, I like how they try to explain it by saying that the brain still is alive after it gets cut off from the body for, I think, 30 seconds. Now, it's a possibility that it's true, but I guess the the writers felt as though we got to have Margaret come back. So unfortunately, she did die inside of the campgrounds because, like I said, and that's why she's still a ghost. So, like I said, it seemed like everyone got a happy ending. We see, like I said, we see the final peaceful shot of Jingles, his mother, and his brother Bobby, looking like a true family for the first time ever. And like I said, it's kind of a fitting end for this story and for Jingles' son Bobby. So, what did I think about this season of American Horror Story 1984? I thought it was pretty good. I liked some of the aspects that they did and resurrecting some of the aspects of 80s horror. I like the fact that they decided not to do some of the typical tropes that we've seen in 80s horror, like, we get the supposedly happy ending and something happens. No, they decided to give mostly all the characters a happy ending and they live in peace. Montana is finally happy after all the pain that she went through, and her and Trevor are happy. All the people, all the ghosts in Roofwood, they're happy, and they just sit and just think of more despicable ways to kill Ramirez. Now, how would I rank this series, this particular season? It's good. It's not one of the better ones. I don't think it's better than Asylum. I kind of like it a little bit better than Freak Show or Hotel, but it's not one of the better ones. I don't think it's better than Apocalypse. I thought Apocalypse was a little bit better. Yeah, but it's okay. It was good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, there were some aspects I didn't like. Some of the things that actually came off right off of Friday the 13th. But overall, I did enjoy the season. So my horror fans, what do you think about the season finale? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was nice to see everyone get a happy ending? We don't get any cliche surprises. And how did you rank this particular season of American Horror Story 84? Is it good, great, or the worst? Leave your comments down in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about American Horror Story in 1984. So that's my video for today, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you can come and enjoy the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. Freddy, take us home. We're out.
Every town has an Elm Street.